Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Troy Clayton, and joining us today from the Australian Army is Corporal Daniel Hodgson. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Return and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Club Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors to the memorial. If you're able, please stand and join in singing the National Anthem. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn their loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed at the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we'll read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Gunner Gilbert Mark James Gardner. Gilbert Gardner was born on the 31st of October, 1891 at Nilma, Victoria. He was the eldest of 3 children born to local farmer James Gardner and his wife Elizabeth. Gilbert received his education at King's College in the nearby town of Warragul, where he was a keen student. He excelled in languages and was the dux of his year group in 1902. On completion of his education, he took up work as a farmer on his family property, known as Oaklands. When war broke out in August 1914, Gilbert Gardner did not delay his enlistment. He joined the newly formed Australian Imperial Force on the 26th of August 1914 and was immediately accepted. He was assigned to the 1st Australian Divisional Ammunition Column with the rank of gunner and began a short period of training at Broadmeadows Camp. He spent his 23rd birthday there and embarked for active service from Melbourne on the 20th of October 1914, sailing on board the troop ship Shropshire. Their ship was destined for Egypt, where troops would disembark and continue training in preparation for the landing on Gallipoli. During the voyage, Gardner contracted pneumonia and measles, probably as a result of the cramped and sometimes unhygienic conditions on the ship. He received medical attention throughout the journey, but his condition worsened as they neared Egypt. He died of illness at 6:10 p.m. on the 27th of November 1914 and was buried in the Red Sea. A telegram was sent to the Anglican minister in Warragul, asking him to break the news of Gilbert Gardner's death to his family. They were informed on the 3rd of December 1914. His mother wrote a letter to Melbourne's Base Records later that same day, saying, "The Reverend Nancarrow has informed us of the death of my son from pneumonia. As there was a previous mistake in the district with another young man, I am praying there may be a mistake in this case too. Please reply, as there might still be hope that there has been a mistake and that it may be another Gardner." Her hopes of a mistake were later dashed when his final belongings were returned to his parents, alongside a telegram confirming his fate. His younger brother Wilfred later took his place, joining the Australian Flying Corps in 1918 as an air mechanic. He returned to Australia after the war. Gunner Gilbert Gardner is commemorated today on the Chatby Memorial in Egypt, alongside almost 1,000 other Commonwealth servicemen who died at sea during the First World War. He was 23 years old. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right, among almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. His photograph is displayed today by the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Gunner Gilbert Mark James Gardner, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We'll remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bain. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub of Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support during the Memorial's development project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.